Act 2, Scene 20. Triwizard Tournament, Lake, 1995. Ludo Bagman. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I give you the greatest, the fabulous, the one and the only Triwizard Tournament. If you're from Hogwarts, give me a cheer. There's a loud cheer. And now Albus and Scorpius are swimming through the lake, descending through the water with graceful ease. If you're from Durmstrang, give me a cheer. There's a loud cheer. And if you're from Beauxbatons, give me a cheer. There's a slightly less limp cheer. The French are getting into this. And they're off. Victor's a shark, of course he is. Flora looks remarkable. Ever plucky Harry is using gillyweed. Clever Harry, very clever. And Cedric, well, Cedric, what a treat, ladies and gentlemen. Cedric is using a bubble charm to cruise through the lake. Cedric Diggory approaches them through the water, a bubble over his head. Albus and Scorpius raise their wands together and fire an engorgement charm through the water. He turns and looks at them, confused, and it hits him, and around him the water glows gold. And then Cedric starts to grow, and grow again, and grow some more. He looks around himself, entirely panicked, and the boys watch as Cedric ascends helplessly through the water. But no, what's this? Cedric Diggory is ascending out of the water and seemingly out of the competition. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have our winner, but we certainly have our loser. Cedric Diggory is turning into a balloon, and this balloon wants to fly. Fly, ladies and gentlemen, fly. Fly out of the task and out of the tournament, and oh my, it gets wilder still. Around Cedric, fireworks explode. Declaiming, Ron loves Hermione. That's sweet, but somehow I don't think it's gonna work. And I feel like it's gonna break the world even more, and not just because, you know, there's 2 more acts in this play, but it was a sweet idea. And the crowd loved that. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the look on Cedric's face, it's quite some picture, it's quite some sight, it's quite some tragedy. This is a humiliation, there's no other word for it. And Albus smiles widely and high-fives Scorpius in the water. And Albus points up and Scorpius nods, and they start to swim ever upwards. And as Cedric ascends, people start to laugh, and everything changes. The world becomes darker. The world becomes almost black, in fact. And there's a flash and a bang, and the time turner ticks to a stop, and we're back in the present. Scorpius suddenly emerges, shooting up through the water, and he's triumphant. Oh my god, what's gonna happen? Scorpius, woo-hoo! He looks around, surprised. Where's Albus? He puts his arms into the air. We did it! He waits another beat. Albus? Albus still doesn't emerge. Scorpius treads water, he thinks, and then he ducks back into the water. He emerges back up again, now thoroughly panicked. He looks around. Albus! 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 And there's a whisper in Parseltongue, which travels fast around the audience. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. My reaction never changes. Dolores Umbridge. Scorpius Malfoy, get out of the lake. Get out of the lake right now. What did they do? What did they do? Oh my god, what did they do? Why is she here? Like, this scares me like far more than, I don't know, there's always like the quote on the internet, admit it, you wanted her dead more than Voldemort. I mean, it's like just so, it does not stop being true. Oh, and he doesn't know who she is, obviously. She pulls him out of the water. Scorpius, Miss, I need help. Please, Miss. Dolores Umbridge, Miss? I'm Professor Umbridge. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I can't. Miss, I'm Professor Umbridge, the headmistress of your school. I'm no miss. Scorpius, you're the headmistress? But what happened? What happened? Why? Dolores Umbridge. I am the headmistress, and however important your family may be... Okay, well, that's good. It still doesn't give you an excuse to dilly-dally, to mess about. Scorpius. There's a boy in this lake. Oh, wait a minute. Shit. Did Albus disappear? Is that what happened? Like the same thing happened to him as happened to Rose? Like he was never born? Yeah, because he just said Malfoy's family is important, so Voldemort's still in charge. Wait, then what about Snape? Because Snape was the... Why isn't Snape the headmaster anymore? Did he still die? I wonder what's going on. Because if the Malfoy family is important, then... Well, I mean, there's only one way to find out. I'm pretty sure this is the last scene, so I'll have to wait until later to find out. But oh my god, guys, what did you do? Oh my god, I don't like this. I mean, I'm loving it, but oh my god. Scorpius, there's a boy in this lake. You need to get help. I'm looking for my friend, Miss Professor, Headmaster, one of Hogwarts' students, miss. I'm looking for Albus Potter. Dolores Umbridge. Potter? Albus Potter? There's no such student. In fact, there hasn't been a Potter at Hogwarts for years. And that boy didn't turn out so well. Not so much rest in peace, Harry. Harry died? What? I mean, that would explain why Albus wasn't born, but what? Oh my god. I mean, you know, there's changing the past and changing the future, but this is dark. This is dark. Not so much rest in peace, Harry Potter, more rest in perpetual despair. Total troublemaker. Scorpius. Harry Potter's dead? Suddenly, from around the auditorium, the feel of a breath in the wind, some black robes rise around people. Black robes that become black shapes, that become Dementors. Flying Dementors through the auditorium, these black, deadly shapes, these black, deadly forces, they are everything to be feared, and they suck the spirit from the room. The wind continues. This is hell. And then right from the back of the room, whispering around everyone, words said with an unmistakable voice, the voice of Voldemort. Harry Potter. Harry's dream has come to life. Dolores Umbridge. Have you swallowed something funny in there? Become a mudblood without any of us noticing? Harry Potter died over 20 years ago as part of that failed coup on the school. He was one of those Dumbledore terrorists we bravely overthrew at the Battle of Hogwarts. Now come along. I don't know what game you're playing, but you're upsetting the Dementors. I'm sorry, because this is terrible, but it's also very, 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 very funny. I'm dying, okay. I'm not going to be able to read this with a straight face. Okay, take a breath. Now come along. I don't know what game you're playing, but you're upsetting the Dementors and entirely ruining Voldemort Day. I couldn't. I tried really hard, but I couldn't. You know, maybe another time we'll be able to read it without laughing, but I can't right now. And the Parseltongue whispers grow louder and louder. Voldemort Day. You're ruining Voldemort Day. That's gonna be like my new favorite quote. You're entirely ruining Voldemort Day. I can't breathe. And the Parseltongue whispers grow louder and louder, grow monstrously loud. This was reading ahead, not behind. And giant banners with snake symbols upon them descend over the stage. Scorpius, Voldemort Day? We cut to black. And yeah, that was the end of Act 2. Voldemort Day! Happy Voldemort Day, everyone! I guess it's kind of like a, you know, like the Happy Hunger Games kind of thing. Wow, that is intense. All right, so I wonder what caused the Harry Potter died over 20 years. Well, she said the Battle of Hogwarts, so it looks like the events of books. Some of the books still happened. There was still a Battle of Hogwarts, which meant there was a hunt for Horcruxes. It seems. I wonder what the Ron loves Hermione, if that had anything to do with it, because I mean, if they start, well, I mean, I could see that going either way. It could either result in their becoming a couple much sooner, or it could be even more of an estrangement between them. Um, but I mean, either way, that could totally mess with the Horcruxes search. Like, because I mean, if they were a couple, that would completely change the dynamic, and things would have gone differently. I mean, I noticed, like, I was reading Deathly Hallows again and again, like, so much of what happens is just chance. So, like, and if things hadn't gone a certain way, like, I mean, it's for example, it's possible that Ron, if Ron and Hermione were a couple, it's possible that he never left, um, and that would have messed with things. He got a spare wand when he was caught by the Snatchers, and so if all three of them went to Godric's Hollow, Harry's wand was broken. He wouldn't have had a replacement until they went to Malfoy Manor, I guess. But it would have made things more difficult then. And I mean, again, it would have changed things. And then obviously, if it had been the other way around, if it had caused an estrangement between them, then maybe the three of them wouldn't have gone hunting for Horcruxes together. It might have been just Harry and Ron, or just Harry and Hermione. I feel like the just Harry and Hermione would still have been more successful in the whole thing than just Harry and Ron. But still, without Ron, a lot of what happened wouldn't have happened. Oh, like, well, if it hadn't been for Ron, Harry would have died getting the sword, because he still had the Horcrux around his neck and he drowned. But I suppose if Ron had never left, then he might have gone with them. They might have gone after the doe together, and Ron still could have saved him. But I suppose it's possible that if Ron hadn't been there, that Hermione could have found and saved him. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know if the Ron loves Hermione thing was a major change, if that is what changed things for the worst, or if the Cedric thing had anything to do with it. I mean, yeah, we still don't know, obviously, if in this new regime, if Cedric was killed or not. I mean, if he wasn't killed in the graveyard, because he never went to the graveyard, I mean, he still might have been killed later, or not. I mean, we don't know. But Harry died. I mean, well, that explains why Albus isn't there, but it's possible that, I mean, if Ron and Hermione ended up being a couple, they still could have had Rose, at least, so Rose could still be there. But again, even if they had, like, there's still no guarantee that things would have happened exactly the same way. I mean, when you make a child, well, I guess they could have still had a girl named Rose. She just wouldn't necessarily be the same person. So, I don't know. I mean, what time is it? It's 1:15 in the afternoon. I've got some things to do today, but I think I might find time tonight to get to Act 3. So hopefully that'll happen, depending on what goes on today. But very, very dramatic. I'm really enjoying this. I mean, I've got some complaints about it, sure, but yeah, overall, this is really fun. I really like this. It's not a replacement for an 8th book, but I think it's great so far. So, yay! Okay.